One of the common questions asked of recovery life coaches is, what is the difference between recovery life coaching and therapy, and recovery life coaching and sponsorship? We have put together a little demonstration to highlight some of the differences with each of these modalities. This demonstration is split into a series of 3 parts. Each part of the series highlights a different modality. This is part 1. We will start with an example of what therapy is like. The therapist has a graduate degree, clinical experience, and is licensed. Therapy is the healing interplay between a qualified expert and the client. The difficulties discussed are emotional in nature and can differ in terms of origins, triggers, impacts, and possible outcomes. Often, a condition can be evaluated over time. The purpose of therapy is to explore feelings, thoughts, and behaviors in order to increase the ability of the client to function, and also to increase their sense of well-being. Here, Samir goes to meet his therapist, Jessica. Welcome to therapy today, Samir. Go ahead and have a seat.
Yes. Thank you. I will.
Are you set to go? How would you like to start today?
Yes. I am ready. Let me think. What do I want to talk about today?
Yes.
Well, I am having difficulty with a project I am working on. I had a real creative burst, and I was excited about it, but now, I'm stuck. I just can't find the piece I need to fit and make it work.
Yes. I see. Tell me more.
It's almost like nothing is there, or the flow has dried up, or something.
I can see this bothers you. You were excited about the project. Now you've gotten stuck, and the flow seems to have dried up.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
I'm frustrated and anxious.
Where do you feel the frustration and anxiety in your body?
Let me think. The frustration feels like a heaviness in my chest.
Okay.
And the anxiety is like bumblebees swarming inside my belly and arms. It makes it hard for me to sit still. It's very intense right now.
Can you make room for all that frustration and anxiety?
Yes. I think so.
Okay. What is happening now?
The feelings are not as intense as they were. They are still there though.
As you sit with the heaviness in your chest, or the swarming inside your belly and arms, can you breathe into those spaces and see if they tell you anything?
Okay. Let me take a breath.
Okay.
It feels like the anxiety has something to do with performance, and something more. Like something is important about this work.
Yes.
I can't quite get a handle on it. Let me see. There is like a performance standard I must meet, a high performance standard, in order for me to be okay, or measure up, or something. I'm getting some clarity about this, but there is still something that isn't quite right.
The anxiety you are experiencing is triggered by a sense that you need a high performance standard to be satisfied with your work.
Yes, that is how I will measure up, or that is how I will be who I need to be, or something like that. Again, it's like I have this great idea, and I somehow need to prove its greatness, or my greatness, or I'm not satisfied, unless I achieve greatness with it, or something like that.
Yes.
There is some greatness or bus burden. It's like I'm either great or nothing. There is no in between.
Tell me more about this burden piece.
It's like I have no choice, and there is this immense pressure to create something brilliant. Like it's required of me. I can't explain it, but it seems like I can't not do it, and then again, it seems to be almost impossible, or like it's some kind of monumental undertaking.
It sounds like you have taken on a role. Is there some time or something in your past that comes to you that is a reminder of this experience?
Well, let me think. All that comes to me is that it was prevalent for me while I was growing up. I'm not exactly sure where it started, or why it is. I am extremely fearful of making mistakes, and I am very protected around that. There are lots of parts of me that think making a mistake is totally unacceptable, and they are on guard to prevent me from the shame or embarrassment of making one.
I see.
Everything needs to meet a higher standard, so that I am bulletproof. and I am not vulnerable and exposed or susceptible to ridicule.
It sounds like a very tough situation. You have set such a high standard for yourself that you either have to give up on the idea as too difficult, or you experience all this anxiety and frustration while trying to make it perfect.
Yes.
Ultimately, this creates a system for you that is difficult, to say the least. And this is all to protect you from the perception that anything less than this high bar you have set will result in embarrassment or shame. Oh, I see by the clock our time is almost up, and we need to place hold this spot so we can pick up on this next week.
Okay. This seems important to me.
So let's review. What are you taking away from our work together today?
Well, I am beginning to see this is more about my past than my present situation. And also, that I have created a lot of this through the way I have adapted or reacted to life. I am hopeful that there is a possibility that this can change, and the creative process does not have to be like this.
Yes, I am satisfied that you were able to get some clarity and separate from the situation enough to introduce some objectivity into it.
Me too.
I will see you next week. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
You have seen an example of therapy. Notice that the emphasis was on an inward exploration of feelings and on healing the past. In the next part of this series, we will show an example of what sponsorship is like. If you are interested in learning more about Recovery Life Coaching, visit Recovery Coaches International at www.recoverycoaching.org. If you are interested in talking with a recovery life coach, visit Fred Hawes at www.fredhawescoaching.com. Thank you for watching. I hope this had been a helpful snapshot of what therapy is like. Please continue with this series to see how therapy, sponsorship, and recovery life coaching contrast, and also how they complement each other. Until next time. Bye-bye.